Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. Well, I'm back, but still a little bit blocked up. I can still feel it just a little bit. So I took last week off because I had a cold. I was so blocked up. I had a cough. I tested a number of times and it was 100% definitely a cold. It feels so weird because it's been like 3 years almost without having those kinds of germs because we've been in lockdown and isolation so much away from people. So it's just taken a little bit extra for my body to kind of get over it, I think, but I'm almost there, thank goodness. So as I said, I did test myself quite a few times just to be 100% sure. At the start, I was being super paranoid, wearing a mask, keeping away from everyone, just to make sure also too that I didn't get anyone else sick as well. So I really still don't have all that much to talk about because this week I have still pretty much just kept myself inside in the warm. It has been cold and wet and misty here. Feels like winter has arrived, even though we're still in late autumn. I still don't have the pump here at the shed fixed. It has been approved as a warranty replacement, and they have now referred it on to a local service person to come out. So I'm assuming they are ordering the pump. I just haven't heard from anyone to actually make a time to come out and replace it. So that's a little frustrating, but thank goodness in a way that I've been sick because I haven't been out here in the shed and I haven't been needing to do any dyeing. I am going to need to get back into the dye pots very shortly. So there could be some more carting of water back from the house to be able to get some batches done until that pump is fixed. I'm hoping this coming week that I will feel a little bit better, that there might be a few sort of sunny, not rainy days that I can get out into the paddocks and into the bush. I can see that there are mushrooms starting to grow in the paddocks and that some of the wattles are starting to bloom. So I'd really like to get out and see all that stuff as it starts to happen and to show you here. Even though it's been 2 weeks since I last sat down with you, I don't have a huge amount of knitting that I can show you, partly because my nose has been running so badly that it was just almost impossible to knit at times, but also because when I was feeling a little bit better, most of my time has been spent on the knee-high socks for my sister's birthday. So I'm not able to show you those yet. Hopefully they will be getting done either this week or next. Her birthday is the 28th, so that's my deadline. So they are what I will predominantly be working on when I have time to sit and knit. I'm wearing the Perhaps shawl this week by Melanie Berg. I knit it back at the end of 2016, I believe. It is a really lovely 3-color shawl with lots of patterning. I'll see if I can take it off for you. So it's got lace sections and then 2 colors of stripes. The white and purple variegated in there is actually the same color as what I used on my first yellow brick rodeo. So it's quite a nice way of seeing it in a different way. I'll pop a link to my project below so you can see all the yarns. I think they're all from dyers who are no longer dyeing anymore. So unfortunately, you won't be able to get any of the colors, but it's a really lovely pattern and I recommend knitting it. Last time I shared with you that I was making bed socks for Life's Little Treasures as charity knitting. I have finished one pair. So this is them knit up into their little bed socks. You kind of put your feet in one hole here and this other hole sort of sits on the top of your foot and it stretches out to become like a bed sock slipper kind of thing. So I've done one set. I've finished the second one and haven't sewn it up yet. And I've got the mate of that one on the needles now. I've sort of been doing that in the house in the evenings. And because I've been steering clear of everyone, this project has sat in the house where I have not been for the last week or so. The other thing that I worked on was my navy yellow brick rodeo. And I did the sleeves, just the ribbing around the sleeves. And then I put the yarn back onto the body, and it felt like it was taking me forever. I really only had like maybe this much to do, and it kept feeling like it was getting shorter rather than longer. I think when you put the sleeves in, it kind of pulls everything up, and that's why I do like to do the sleeves before I finish the body, because it kind of gets everything into the place that it should be. It pulls the underarm bit where you've added stitches in after the separation for the sleeve. It pulls that up and gives it obviously the shape of the armhole, and so then it kind of makes the body end up being the right length once you get to the body. So I was working on it. I actually worked on it last night. I wanted to desperately get it finished so that I could show you today. So I literally bound off last night. Oh, I've got stuff on it. So here it is, finished. Obviously, I have all of my ends to weave in to make the edges look all nice and neat, and then it will need to be blocked. I'm not going to block it too aggressively. I didn't really block the other one that aggressively, and it will be ready to wear. So now I don't have a jumper on the needles, so my brain is starting to work and think about potential new projects. I do have a lot of other projects on the needles, of course. I have the socks that I need to finish. I have my Spectra, which is sort of at that junction point of deciding whether I keep going or whether I cast off. And then I need to find another project for all of that gradient hand spun yarn that I have. And there are a couple of other whips that have been hiding away in my whip bin that I could probably go back to and look at and see if I should finish any of should. Maybe that's not the right word that I should be using. If there's any of those projects that I'd like to finish before I cast on anything else. But I would like to make myself a sort of a sloppy, slightly oversized jacket cardigan kind of thing. It's the right kind of weather for that right now. Although if I start it now, I probably won't finish it in time to really enjoy it this winter. But it's something that I've had on my mind for a little while. It could mean that I dye up some of my own yarn for that project, potentially in crushed leaves, or I've got a couple of other colors that I have wanted to make myself something out of for a while. So yeah, there could be some dyeing first, but then yeah, I need to find the perfect cardigan. My friend Amy has suggested the Douglas by Andrea Mowry. Maybe, but if I do that, I don't think I'll do it as a striped version. I think I just do a two color, so a main body and then do the edges in a different color. But I'm also going to do quite a bit of a Ravel research and see if there's something else that I can find that might be the perfect project that I'm looking for. That takes you down rabbit holes. That could take me a long time. So it could be a little bit of searching for a while and maybe just pottering around on those other projects. I could always just pop a another dishcloth or egg cleaning cloth or coffee cloth on the needles with the cotton that I have in my stash. We're always looking for new ones of those, and the other ones I've done are now starting to wear out again. So now I just feel like I'm rambling. Feel like I had nothing to say, and now I just keep on going. I don't really know what I'm saying. I'm still probably a little bit cloudy. Well, it's nice to be back. And hopefully I'll have some new and interesting projects to share with you next week. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.